Hi, my name is Amy Carpenter and this is a how-to video for Sublime Text 3. When I first started looking for a code editor at the beginning of the semester, I turned to my good friend Blake, who is an aspiring web developer. He said that Sublime Text is by far his favorite code editor, so after I looked around a little bit, I decided to use that one for my semester-long project. Sublime Text 3 is a cross-platform code editor, which basically just means that you can have it on OS, Windows, Linux, etc. It's a favorite of web developers and professionals, and there is good reason for that. It's really organized, as we can see. It's clean, it's fast, and it has lots of features that enable the user to create better code in less time. Not to mention that it's free, which obviously is always a plus. So knowing HTML and using Sublime Text 3 is really helpful in regards to the field of technical communications. Sublime Text 3 gives its users a lot more control than a what you see is what you get editor, like WordPress or Wix. So you can have more power over how your code looks, where things are placed, etc. And of course that's really beneficial to a career like technical writing, where everything that was once print is now accessible online. Sublime Text 3 is a really unique code editor in that it's extremely customizable. So I've kind of talked about some of the background of Sublime Text 3, but I actually want to get into those customizations and ones that I've found really useful. So one of the first features that I want to talk about is one that's inherent within Sublime, and I think it's really incredible, and that is the split screen editing mode. So we're able to access that by going up to View, then clicking on Layouts. And you can see you can have up to 4 different columns, so you can edit up to 4 different text files side by side. But we're just going to do 2. So now I have this window here on the right. I have my HTML on the left, but say I want to do the CSS and the HTML all at once. We know that things within the HTML refer to things that are in the code for the CSS. So this is really handy because I can just look at both at once. I don't have to keep switching between files all the time. So that's a really useful tool for people that want to edit multiple files at once. So that's just one of the features that is included within Sublime's formatting, but I wanted to quickly show a few of the third-party plugins that I think are really useful. So first, over here on the left, I'm just going to mess up my code just a little bit, make it a little bit messy. Next, I'll click Command-Shift-P, that's on a Mac, so Control-Shift-P on a PC, and I'm going to type in Install. I'm going to install this third-party plugin by clicking Install Package, and then you can see that this huge library of third-party plugins comes up. So the one that I want to use is called HTML Beautify, and that just cleans up the code. So I'm going to install that. Then I'll hit Command-Shift-P again, and I'm going to look up that plugin I installed. So once I clicked on that, it just cleaned up that text for me automatically. So this is really nice for somebody that has a long code that's gotten kind of messy. It just makes it a lot easier to read, a lot easier to find things. So that's a really helpful tool. Okay, and so this last plugin that I want to show you is one of my favorites, and it's called the Color Highlighter. So we're just going to do the same thing that we did to beautify the code on the left. So we'll hit Command-Shift-P, look up Install. So we're going to install package, and so I'll type in Color Highlighter. So what this plugin does is it shows you the color of your text without you having to run it. So I'll just click right here and it shows me that color. So all these different features and plugins that make Sublime Text 3 so customizable are what I think really sets it apart from the other text editors out there. And that's why I think that anyone, especially members of our class, should learn about it. Whether you're a novice code editor or more advanced, Sublime Text 3 meets needs of all code editors out there and gives them so many options. So while it may be a bit more complex than some other code editors out there, I think it's well worth the effort of learning. Thanks for watching.